topic and your school level revision. So, stay tuned throughout the session to understand and get an experience of the best questions of arithmetic progression. With this, I would like to introduce myself. This is Trishita Majumdar here, and I am a teacher expert at Cuemath with a teaching experience of 4 years. I am a subject matter expert of mathematics and reasoning, and the regions that I cater to is India and US. With this, let's quickly look into our table of contents for today. Let's look into the table of contents for today. So we would be understanding what we mean by arithmetic progression, its applications, problems, word problems, and learning outcomes. So with this, let's start with the first topic. So we are first understanding what is arithmetic progression definition. So it says that if various terms of a sequence are formed by adding a fixed number to the previous term. So there is a sequence which is coming into picture, and this sequence is being formed by adding a fixed number to the previous term, or the difference between two successive terms is a fixed number, then the sequence is called an arithmetic progression. Okay. So what we understand from here is that arithmetic progression, which is in general told as AP, the short form of it is known as AP. I'm sure that most of you must be aware of this. The terms in an AP always has a fixed difference between them, which is actually known as the common difference. I'm sure that most of you are already aware of the topic and must have learnt about it in your schools, but I would again like to say this fixed difference which we are talking about between the successive terms of the sequence is known as the common difference. And if this difference is not constant in between every two successive terms, then I cannot say that the sequence is an arithmetic progression. Okay? We would be learning more about it going ahead. So here goes an arithmetic progression example. So here we have 2, 4, 6, 8. The sequence of even numbers is an example of AP. How do we say that? You can always check the common difference between every two successive terms. So 4 minus 2 gives you a 2. So this is giving you a difference of 2. 6 minus 4 again gives you a difference of 2. 8 minus 6 again gives you a difference of 2. So we know that the sequence of even numbers will always have a common difference of 2 between the terms. Coming to the next one, 5, 10, 15, 20. In this term, each term is obtained by adding 5. So see, 10 minus 5 gives you a 5, 15 minus 10 gives you a 5. So it keeps going on. The common difference is always 5 in this whole sequence. And since the common difference is same for the whole sequence, hence we can say that this is an AP. Okay. I hope that was clear to all of you. Coming to an example, as you all can see, so this is one thing which could be explained diagrammatically. So if this is my first term, which is nothing but A, let's say that this is my first term, which is A. Okay, and you could see that there's a smiley here, or you could say there's an emoji here. In the second one, what happened? With this emoji, there's another emoji which got added. And this, the one who got added can be represented as D. So this D is nothing but the one who's got added to my first term A. And this became my second term. Coming to the third one. So with the first term A itself and with these two members, with these two emojis, there's another D who is getting added. This one is the D who is getting added. So each time we are adding one D to every upcoming term. Okay. And coming to the next term, again to the third term, we are adding another D to this, right? So this becomes our fourth term. So altogether we have 4 emojis, and this keeps continuing. So what we can see from here is the common difference between every two successive terms here could be 1, because this has 2 terms. I mean, this has 2, this has 1. 2 minus 1 is 1. 3 minus 2, which is 1. 4 minus 3, which is again 1. Okay. I hope this was much more clearer to all of you by looking at an example. Now with this, let's go ahead. This is very important. Okay. This is the major part of math which we are going to use. The general form of an arithmetic progression is A plus D, A plus 2D, A plus 3D. How do we conclude this? We conclude this from the previous example. So each time when we are adding the D's are getting added. In the first one, only one D had got added. In the second term, as in the first term, we did not have any D. In the second term, we had 1D added. In the third term, we had 2D added. In the fourth term, we had 3D added. So understand that this is my second term, but D is being added, 1D. This is my third term, but 2D is being added. This is my fourth term, but But how much is being added? 3D. As in every time the term at which we are always adding one lesser d than that. As in if I have to go till nth term, what number of d's will I be adding? One lesser than n terms, which is nothing but n minus 1d. I hope this was clear to all of you. So with this, let's see. From here, I could say that an, basically I could say that an is nothing but my nth term and which is known as a plus n minus 1d. I would write it down here. This is a very, very important formula to be noted down. N is the number of terms, a is the first term and d is nothing but the common difference. Okay. So this is something which is going to be very important. This is nth term of an AP, wherein an is equal to a plus n minus 1d. A is the first term, an is the nth term, assuming it to be the last term. N is the number of terms, d is the common difference. Clear? Okay, with this, let's go ahead further. Common difference. The fixed number which is obtained by subtracting any term of AP from its previous term is called as a common difference. The nth term of an AP is this, we just discussed about it. Okay. So again, what is meant by common difference? As you all remember, let's take a series of odd numbers, 3, 5, 7, 9 and keeps going on. So what would the common difference be here? It would be the subtraction of the second term minus first term, which is 2. Again, 7 minus 5, which is 2. 9 minus 7, which is 2. And this keeps continuing. Okay. All right. Let's look at an example here. 4, 8, 12, 16, 20. My question to you all is, calculate the common difference here and I want the 10th term of this AP. I want the 10th term of this AP. I hope I made myself clear. I need the common difference and also I need the value of A10. What's the 10th term of an AP? Here's an example. Let's see who gives it. Let's see who gives the answer to this. Any responses on the comment section? Okay, let's check this out, okay? As we all know that D can be easily calculated by just subtracting the second minus the first every time. So my D would become from here is 8 minus 4, which is going to give me a 4. You could also check 12 minus 8, which is 4, 16 minus 12, which is 4. It's going to be the same. What is my A10? So can I say that if A10 is being asked, my n's value is 10? Or can I also say that I could use an formula for this, which is a plus n minus 1d? From here, what do we see the value of a is? A is my first term and that's equal to 4. So I can figure out what's the value of A10 by putting the value of n as 10. So value of a is 4 plus 10 minus 1 times d, which is 4. This is going to give us 4 plus 9 times 4. Any guesses? Any answers, guys? Anybody? Let's see. So this is going to be 4 plus 9 times 4 is 36, which is going to be 40. Okay. Hence, my 10th term of the AP is 40. Now, the usage of this formula is you may be asked to calculate very higher terms such as 100th term, 1000th term, 10,000th term, anything. It's not always possible to manually count the number of terms and go by the common difference and keep adding them up every time, right? And hence, we have come up with this formula. Okay? All right. Very good and a big round of applause to all of you who have got the right answers. Let's proceed further. Coming to the next topic, that is sum of terms. So as you all can see, sum of terms is that in a given sequence of AP, whatever terms we have, how do we calculate the sum of all of those? Now, let's say that an AP has a lot of terms, okay? Let's say 100 terms, 1000 terms or anything. It's not possible for us to sit and manually count and add each of them, right? So we have come up with again another pattern to it on how do we go about sum of terms of an AP. So the sum of n terms can be defined as n times of first term plus last term over 2. Okay. Now we know that last term is going to be a plus n minus 1 times d because we have just studied that last term is an. So sum Sn would be n times of a plus last term is again a plus n minus 1 into d divided by 2. Now you can simplify this and this is your final formula. Sum is equal to n over 2 2a plus n minus 1 into d. Okay. This is going to be n minus 1. Alright, so I hope I made myself very clear. Okay, Now with this, we are going to go ahead with our next thing, that is nothing but the applications. So let's check out on the application quickly. So we have, so for the first application, you all can read it up. So when we are waiting for a bus, assuming that the traffic is moving at a constant speed, you can predict when the next bus will come, right? Isn't it so? So this is something how the Google Maps are also working. Many of you must have seen that the Google Map gives us an estimate. I don't know, I'm not sure if you've noticed, but then it does happen that it gives you an estimate on what time is a bus going to reach from the bus station. Okay, it gives you an average approximate. So how are these Google Maps working? How is it estimating, right? Or how are your Google Maps? All of these are giving you all these directions and estimates. It's all based on AP. And this AP becomes of major significance when the traffic is constant. Because if the traffic is constant, there's a pattern to it, right? And with pattern, the prediction becomes even more simpler. All right. Logical reasoning problems can be solved using these concepts. Yes, because we have seen a lot of questions in series completion, logical sequence and ranking patterns wherein, you know, the AP again is a kind of pattern. So hence, logical reasoning problems is based on AP. Arithmetic sequence can be applied in almost all aspects of our lives. We have to analyze how it can be used in our day-to-day life. Yes, arithmetic is something which you use in our daily basis, right? So when it comes to AP is something which is again related to arithmetic. So in a way, AP is being used in our life on daily basis. Okay. All right. So I hope the applications and the formulas and the basics were clear to all of you. So with this, we are going to go ahead with our problems. So we are going to look into the problems for today. Here goes our first problem. Which term of the AP 5, 2, minus 1, ... is minus 22? Okay. So that means they have given us the AP here, which is this. So I could say that this is my first term. Okay. This is my first term. Common difference could be found out. Is minus 22. I don't know about minus 22 yet, right? So how do we go about it? So from here, let me just quickly give the questions. If any of you have got the answer to this, can respond through this. Okay. So you could map up your options through this and give your answer on the comment section. So I could say that my value of A is 5. What's the value of D? D is nothing but the common difference, which is the second term minus the first term, and D would become 2 minus 5, which is minus 3. Okay. So from here, what can we say? We need the value of which term is minus 22. So let's say that this is the nth term. I do not know about it. I'm considering it to be the nth term. So an is equal to minus 22. I need to figure out the value of n here. An is given to me. I need to find out which term. Is it first term, second term, third, fourth, fifth, sixth? So nth term is nothing but minus 22. So I have to basically calculate the value of n here. Okay. And now we know that the formula of an is a plus n minus 1 times of d. And according to this, what all values do we have? We have the value of an, which is minus 22. A is 5 plus n minus 1 is not known to us, and d is minus 3. So we are going to quickly solve this and check out what's our result. Minus 22, and I could take this minus 5 on the other side. This would become minus 3n plus 3. So this is going to give us minus 27 minus 3 is equal to minus 3n. And that's going to give us minus 30 is equal to minus 3n. So n is going to give us a 30 over 3, which is nothing but 10. So from here, I could say that this term minus 22 is nothing but the 10th term. And hence option C is the right answer to this. Okay. I hope this was clear to all of you. This was based on nth term of an AP approach. Okay. With this, we would quickly go ahead with our next question. And any of you who did not understand this, please take the screenshot of the question, go back to the recordings of the session, play it back, and then listen to it carefully. If you still do not understand, please post your doubts on the comment section. Okay. Okay. So here goes our next question. Find the sum of first 20 terms of an AP whose nth term is given by Tn is equal to 7 minus 3n. Okay. So I would request all of you to go through your basic school math for AP, because this session what we are having is basically focusing on your school math along with your IIT foundation and also your regular math, right? And also along with that Olympiad. So this is definitely going to be a little of higher level when compared to your basics. So if you have to get through these questions easily, please refer to your basics of NCERT first. That would actually help you a lot in AP, and NCERT or whichever textbook you're following, and then get back to the session and try solving out these problems. Okay, so here goes the options. Let's see who has got the right answer. Okay, let's quickly check this out. So it says that find the sum of first 20 terms. 20 terms as in, can I say that the value of n becomes 20? Right? Because n is nothing but the number of terms. Nth term is given by 7 minus 3n. So Tn is given as 7 minus 3n. And what are we supposed to calculate? We are supposed to calculate the sum. As we all know, sum's formula is Sn is equal to n over 2 2a plus n minus 1 times t, right? This is how we calculate the sum. Do we have the value of a with us? No. But can we actually calculate the value of a with us? Yes, we can. How? See, this is the nth term of an AP. Now, this n could vary from 1 to nth term. 1, 2, 3, 4, n can take different values. And we know that a is nothing but the first term. So to calculate the first term, that is the value of a, can I put the value of n as 1? Yes, I can. So T1 is equal to 7 minus 3 times of 1, which gives us 7 minus 3, and that's nothing but, it's going to give us a 4. So we have got the term 1, which is 4, and term 1 is the same as a, which is equal to 4. And what's the value of n? N is 20. So 20 over 2. And how do we get the value of d? Let me quickly tell you. 2 times of 4 plus 20 minus 1. Now to calculate d, we at least need the second term. To calculate the second term, we would be taking the value of n as 2. So let's see here. T2 is going to give us 7 minus 3 times of 2. Go back to this equation, substitute the value of n as 2. So this is going to give us T2, which is 7 minus 6, and that's going to give us a 1. So what is the common difference from here? We could say that the common difference from here is nothing but, we already have T1, we already have T2. So our D would become, T2 minus T1, and that's equal to 1 minus 4, which is equal to negative 3. Now we can go ahead, and if you want to verify whether your D is correct or not, you can go ahead and substitute the value of n as 3. So that will give you a T3. Check out with T3 minus T2 if you are getting the same value of D or not. Okay. So from here, I could say the value of D is nothing but minus 3 in bracket. And then this is 10. So 10 times of 8 plus 19 times of negative 3. This is what we have. And from here, what can we say? We can say that this would give us a 10. 8 minus 57, right? And then from here, we have 10 times of 8 minus 57 is going to give us a minus 49. And finally, we have minus 490. And hence, option B is the right answer. A big round of applause to all the students who have got the right answer to this. I hope all of you enjoyed the question and did understand this. Okay. So, with this, we are going to go ahead with our next problem. Here's the problem. In an AP, sum of first n terms is 3n square over 2 plus 13n divided by 2. Find its 25th term. Okay, let's wait for all of you to check out on this question. Anybody who is going to get the answer, please to respond on the comment section. Let's see. Okay. And here I am putting down the options. If any of you have got the answer to this, I know most of you are calculating it yet. Any of you who would be getting the answer to this question could map up your answer with the given options and then give your answer on the comment section. Okay. So let me quickly show how do we go about this question. It's told that sum of first n terms of an AP is 3n squared. So can I just simply write this as Sn is equal to 3n square over 2 plus 13n over 2. Right? This is nothing but this is for Sn. Okay? And here they are telling us find the 25th term. Now listen to me carefully. Now if I say you that you have been given with two sums. Let's say that you've been given with sum of 4 terms with some value. Let's say sum of 4 terms is 32, and let's say that sum of 3 terms is equal to let's say this is 30. Okay, so I'm going to ask you, tell me which is the fourth term. Understand the question very well. You have sum of 4 terms given to you, sum of 3 terms given to you. You know that sum of 4 terms is nothing but T1 plus T2 plus T3 plus T4, right? And sum of 3 terms is nothing but T1 plus T2 plus T3. Now, to get the value, the term value, that is the fourth term, what could we do? Can we subtract these two? Because when we are subtracting this, as you all could see, T1 plus T2 plus T3 plus T4 minus the whole of T1 minus T2 minus T3. As you all can see, T1 and minus T1, T2 and minus T2, and T3 and minus T3 are getting cancelled, and you finally get the value of T4. So exactly what are we trying to do here? To calculate the value of T4, what exactly are we going to do? We are going to subtract S4 minus S3. Does that make sense? So S4 minus S3, which is going to be 32 minus 30, and that's going to give you a 2. So 2 is my fourth term of the AP. Yes, I hope this concept was clear to all of you. Whenever you have the sum of two consecutive numbers given to you, you can simply subtract the two sums to find that position term. So similarly, if you have to calculate the 25th term as in T25, one simple approach to this could be, you could simply calculate the value of S25 minus S24. Based on the same approach, that to calculate T4, I just had to do S4 minus S3, which gave me a T4, right? So all I have to do is, I have to figure out what is my sum of 25 terms, sum of 24 terms, and subtract them, okay? So I'm quickly erasing this. So let me just erase this. I hope this was clear, right? And if you have any queries, please do put it up on the comment section. We'll revert back to it, okay? So to calculate the value of S25, what are we exactly going to do? Just like in the last question, if you remember, you had the expression for Tn and we were putting different values of n. Similarly, this time we've been given with an expression of Sn, wherein we could easily put the values and check. So for n equal to 24, because we need 24 and 25, so S24 would become 3 times of 24 square, which is 3 times of 24 over times 24 divided by 2 plus 13 times 24 over 2. So from here we can see this becomes a 12, right? This becomes 12 and this is going to give us a 12 again, okay? So from here, what could we say? What would the value of S24 be? You could take 12 as a common term. And from here, you could see this is 3 times 24 plus 13. Okay. You could go by any way you wish to. Okay. Any answers, anyone? Okay. You all can check this out. S24 is going to give us a 1020. Okay. Now, similarly, we are going to calculate the value of S25 as well. Okay. So here goes our S25, which is nothing but 3 times of, we are going to substitute the value of n as 25 this time. So 3 times of 25 times of 25 over 2 plus 13 times 25 over 2. You all could take 25 over 2 as a common term and check out the rest. So 25 over 2 is a common term. So you are left out with 3 times 25 plus 13. This makes your question simpler. Okay. So all of you can solve this and check. This is going to give you a 1100. Okay. 1100. Please check it and see what result are you getting. So we have got S25 and S24, and from here we are going to subtract the two values. So 1100 minus 1020, which is going to give us a 80. So 80 is the result, and which is option A. Okay. I hope this was clear to all of you. Your general calculations has to be strong. You have to understand basic things such as getting 25th term is nothing but it's the same as subtracting the 25 term sum minus 24 term sum. Okay. All right. So with this, we are going to start with the word problems now. All of you can go through the word problem and think about it on how to go about it. So it's completely based on the applications of AP itself. Let's see who gets through this. Let me quickly put down the options as well. So here goes our options. If any of you have solved the question, then you all can respond it on the comment section, okay? Let me take you through the question. The production of TV in a factory increases uniformly by a fixed number, This itself is giving you the first hint that whenever some quantity is increasing by a fixed number, it's in AP. Because the common difference remains the same, okay, every year. It produced 8,000 sets in the 6th year and 11,300 sets in the 9th year. Find the production in 6 years. So 8,000 sets in the 6th year. In the 6th year as in, can I assume A6, that is A6 to be 8,000 here? Yes, I can, because it is for the 6th year. Okay. I hope that's clear to all of you. And for the 9th year, it is 11,300. So for 9th term alone, that is A9th is nothing but the number of TV sets which is being produced only in the 9th year, which is 11300. How many, find the production in 6 years. Find the total production in 6 years. That's what is going to, that's what is being asked here. So all you have to do is you have to find out the value of S6. Because finding the productions throughout 6 years is adding the production of the 1st year plus 2nd year plus 3rd year plus 4th year plus 5th year plus 6th year. So in a way, it is nothing but the sum of 6 terms. But if you have to calculate the sum of 6 terms, this is going to be n over 2. We know that this is going to be 6 over 2. Let me write down the formula here quickly. Sn is equal to n over 2. And this is 2a plus n minus 1 into d. And we are going to check what all do we have. We have the value of n, which is 6. And we do not have the value of a. Neither do we have the value of d. So we have to figure out the value of a and d, which would help us to calculate the value of S6. Okay. Now using the formula, an is equal to a plus n minus 1 times d. Can I say that A6 is A plus 6 minus 1 times D? 6 minus 1 times D, which is equal to 8,000. Yes, I could say that, right? And A9 is A plus 9 minus 1 times D, which is 11300. So from here, I'm going to get A plus 5D is equal to 8,000. And I'm going to get A plus AD is equal to 11,300. So all you have to do is, this is your equation 1, this is your equation 2. You have two equations in two variables, okay? So, two equations with two variables. So you will have to solve this and calculate the value of A and D. So I want you all to sit with your pen and notebook and quickly solve the two equations. I'm guessing that most of you and all of you here must be aware of linear equations in two variables and the method to solve it. You could use substitution, elimination, cross multiplication, whatever you're comfortable with, okay? And give the value of A and D to me, okay? Okay, let's see who gives the answer. So, yes, any results, anybody? Okay, so let me quickly show it to you. So what you could do is, you could use elimination in the first and the second one. Elimination as in you would be subtracting the two equations. When you subtract, the A and A gets cancelled. Okay. Let me quickly show it down to you. So A plus 5D is minus A minus 8D. I'm subtracting equation 1 minus 2. That's what is elimination. Is equal to 8,000 minus 11,300, which is going to give me 5D minus 8D, which is a minus 3D, is equal to 8,000 minus 11,300 is going to give us how much? Yes. Any answers? Yes. Okay. So we know that this is going to give us a 3,300. Okay. minus 3300. And from here, if you have to calculate the value of D, this is going to give you 1100. So we have got the value of D. Now to calculate the value of A, you can put down this value of D in any of the equations 1 and 2 and get the value of A. Okay, let me use equation 1. So A plus 5 times of 1100 is equal to 8000, and this is going to give us A is equal to 8000 minus 5500. So from here the value of A would become 2500. Okay, so we have got the value of A as well. Now all we have to do is we have to go ahead and calculate the value of S6. Okay, so to calculate the value of S6, I hope everybody is clear with this. I'm then going to erase this. Okay, you all can make a note of this if you are working on it. So let me quickly erase this down. And we are going to solve the value of S6. Okay, so for S6, we have got the value of A and D. So the value of D we had was, let me quickly write this down. D we had was 1100. Okay. So now coming back to S6, S6 is equal to 6 over 2, 2A. 2 times of A is 2500 plus N minus 1, which is nothing but 5 times of D. What is D? 1100. Okay. So this is what we have for S6. Now we are going to go ahead and solve this. So this is going to give us a 3. So 2500 times of 2 is going to give me 5000 plus 11 times of 5 is 5500. And this is going to give us 3 times of 10,500. And 10,500 times 3 is going to give us 31,500. Okay, so hence option D is the right answer. So hence the production in 6 years was 31,500. Yes, I hope that was clear to all of you. With this, we are going to quickly move ahead with our second word problem. Here goes our second word problem, and let's see who is able to solve this. This just looks very huge, but the question is very, very easy. Trust me. Very, very simple. The application of this is very easy. Okay. So let me again put down the options here and let's see who gives the answer to this. Okay. Let's quickly see. There are 25 trees at equal distances. Equal distances is the again hint which would actually help us to understand that this is an AP going on of 5 meters. This is an indication that every time a tree is placed, it's being placed at 5 meters distance. So can I simply say this becomes our common difference D? That's it. In a line with a well, the distance of the well from the nearest tree being 10 meters. That means the first tree, the one which is the nearest to the well, is being placed at 10 meters. So I could say that this is nothing but A. I could say this is again nothing but A. So my value of A is 10. And my value of D is equal to 5. Okay. A gardener waters all the trees separately starting from the well and he returns to the well. So if this is the well and if he is watering all these trees, it goes on till which 25 trees. That means the gardener is going, he is watering all these and then he is again returning back to the well. Right. So he is again returning back to the well. So returning path is this. So this is my well. Alright, I hope everybody understood. This is the gardener who is starting from the well. He started to water all the trees till 25th tree. So this is my 25th tree and this is nothing but my first tree. Okay, and he is watering all the trees and he is returning back to the well again. Find the total distance the gardener will cover in order to water all the trees. All we have to do is, if we could actually calculate the sum of all these terms, this is going to give me the distance between all of those. Because the sum of all the terms is itself the total distance covered by the gardener one-sided. And if you have to calculate his return path as well, then you just have to do twice of it because he is returning throughout the path once again, right? That's it. So all we have to now understand this is that, our value of A is 10. So value of D is 5. So how would the AP series look like? So A is 10. The second term would be 15 because D is 5. Then it would go as 20 and then this would keep continuing, right? And there are in total 25 trees, correct? So 25 trees, and as in I could say that N is equal to 25, correct? So N is equal to 25. So all we have to calculate is the value of S25. So let's go ahead and do that. So S25 is going to give us, so we know that Sn is equal to n over 2, and this is 2a plus n minus 1 times d. So S25 is going to give us 25 over 2 and 2a, which is 2 times of 10 plus 25 minus 1 times of d. What's d? D is nothing but 5. So from here 25 over 2 times 2 times 10 is 20 plus 24 times of 5. All of you could try solving this. So this would give you, when you solve this, 25 over 2 times 20 plus 25 over 2 times 24 times 5. This is going to give me a 12 and this is going to give me a 10. So everybody could calculate this and give me the result. Please try this out. So this is going to be a 1750. 1750 is only the one-sided distance. If you have to calculate the total distance, that is the comeback distance of the gardener, so it's going to be 1750 times 2, which is going to give us 3,500 meters. Okay, 3,500 meters. I hope that was clear to all of you. Okay, now from here, we are going to go ahead with our advanced level questions. I hope everybody is understanding the session well. And if you have any doubts with any question, please do watch the recording once again and you'll be able to grasp it up. Okay. Here goes our advanced level question. The first question goes here. The ratio of the sum of m and n terms of an AP is m squared is to n squared. Then find the ratio of the mth and the nth term. Okay. Let's see if anybody is going to get the answer to this. I'm going to quickly put down the options here. Here goes your options. Okay, as per the given question, let's just look into a few things. So what we can see here is that the ratio of sum of m terms and n terms. As in, I can see that sum of m terms divided by sum of n terms is the ratio is given as m square over n square. We are very sure of this, right? But we know that Sm, how do we represent Sm? Sm could be represented as m over 2. 2a plus m minus 1 times of d, and divided by Sn could be represented as n over 2, 2a plus n minus 1 times d, which is equal to m square over n square, right? We've got this. Now from here, how do we go about it? You all can see that here there is one m and here there is m square, which could actually get cancelled. N and n square. So the square terms gets cancelled. The 2 and 2 gets cancelled from here. So all we have from here is 2a plus m minus 1 times d. So this was the second step. Over 2a plus n minus 1 times d is equal to m over n. Whoever did not understand the second step, I again repeat, what exactly is going to happen is, even if you do not understand cancelling it in this way, you would be taking this, the 2 and 2 gets cancelled, the m and n goes to the other side and gets cross multiplied as n by m. So altogether, this n by m when you had here, so 1m with the square gets cancelled here, 1n with the square gets cancelled here. Got it? This is what I meant by cancelling directly. Okay? Alright, so we have got this. Now we are going to go to the next step. So from here, we are going to go ahead here. Alright? So after this, what could we do here? So we are going to write our left hand side. This is our left hand side in the form of am and an. Okay. So what we can do is we can put in place of m, we can take the value as 2m minus 1. This is just substitution. And in place of n, we can write this as 2n minus 1. And this whole thing is our substitution, substitute. Okay, so in place of m, we are going to write it as 2m minus 1, and in place of n, we are going to write it as 2n minus 1. So the reason why we are doing this, you will be able to understand in the upcoming steps. So the next thing what we'll do is, we'll go back to this equation, and in place of m, I'm going to substitute 2m minus 1, and there was again another minus 1 times d, divided by n2a plus 2n minus 1 times d. And it's very obvious, if you're substituting for m and n, it has to be for the whole equation. not just on LHS. So again, for M on the RHS also, I'm going to write 2m minus 1 and 2n minus 1. Okay. Now from here, as you all could see, this could be written as 2a plus. From here I could see that 2 could be taken as a common term, right? And I could write this as m minus 1, because you would be getting minus 1, which is minus 2, and divided by 2a plus 2 could be taken as common, n minus 1 times d, which is going to give us a 2m minus 1 divided by 2n minus 1. Okay. So from here, what we could do is, you could take the 2 as a constant term, right? If you take 2 as a constant term, then a plus m minus 1d is what you would be left out with inside. And below also, you would be having a plus n minus 1d, which is 2m minus 1 over 2n minus 1. As you all can see, the 2 and 2 gets cancelled, and this a plus m minus 1d, we know that a plus m minus 1 times d could also be written as a mth term, right? And a plus n minus 1d could also be written as a nth term. So finally what we found is, from here, if you have to see, you could say that this is nothing but am, this is nothing but an, and the ratio of am by an is 2m minus 1 divided by 2n minus 1. So final answer of the mth term and nth term is am divided by an, amth over anth is equal to 2m minus 1 over 2n minus 1. And this is option B. Okay. And I hope all of you now understood why did we take this substitution. The purpose to take this substitution was to get the format of am over an in the later stages. And this is how we get into it. Okay. So we are done with this question. I hope everybody are clear with it. If you did not understand, because these are of slightly higher level questions, if you did not understand, please go ahead and play the recording again. And if you still do not understand, please post your doubt on the comment section. And if you're liking this session, please hit on the like option and do share it with your friends. Okay. With this, we are going to go ahead with our final question for today. So here goes our last question for this session. 4 numbers are inserted between the numbers 4 and 39 such that an AP results. Find the biggest of these 4 numbers. Okay, let's see who gives the answer to this. And I'm going to put the options down here. And here goes our approach to this. Let's see. 4 numbers are inserted between 4 and 39. So what we could say is, those 4 numbers could be x1, x2, x3 and x4, and they are inserted between 4 and 39, right? I could say this. So this is my sequence here. And this whole sequence is resulting to an AP which is already given to us in the question. Okay. So from here, what can I say? What's my first term? My first term will become 4, right? And from here, what would my end? So find the biggest of these four numbers is what being told here. So from here, what could we say is 39th is which term? As you all can see, this is A, and then this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this is A1, A2, A3, A4, A5, A6. This is A6th term. This is A1th term and this is A6th term. So I could say that my A6th term is given to me as 39, and based on the formula AN is equal to A plus N minus 1 times D, I could say that A plus 6 minus 1 times D is equal to 39. And the value of A or A1, A and A1 are the same things. So A is equal to 4 plus 5D is equal to 39. So 39 minus 4 is going to give me a 35. So 5D is equal to 35. And from here we could say that the value of D is 7. Okay. So we have got the value of A with us. We have the value of D with us. We have to find the biggest of the 4 numbers from here. So the biggest of the 4 numbers would be what? It's very simple. So the value of x1 would become 4 plus 7, which is equal to 11. The value of x2 would become, so how did we get this? Let me again write this down. x1 is going to be your second term, and your second term can be written as a1 plus d. x2 can be written as a1 plus 2d, or a1 or a2 plus d, and your x3 can be written as a1 plus 3d, and your x4 can be written as a1 plus 4d. If you wish to calculate all the numbers, it's up to you, but for this question we do not have to calculate the whole series. All we have to do is to calculate the highest of the four. And we know that by looking into these, it's very obvious that x4 is going to be the greatest number. So let's just calculate for x4. So x4 is going to be a1, which is 4, plus 4 times of 7, and that's going to give us 4 plus 28, and that's going to be equal to 32. 28 plus 4 is 32, and which is option C. I hope the question was clear enough. This was pretty simple. You just had to understand few basic things about AP. Alright guys, so with this, we are going to go ahead with our learning outcomes. We have understood how to solve problems using formulas, learn to recognize arithmetic sequence in a variety of contexts. We have understood to recognize sequences that are not arithmetic, how to apply the relevant formula in both theoretical and practical contexts. Practical contexts were basically the word problems. I hope all of you did enjoy the session. With this, I would quickly like to brief about the TUCO. So, Cuemath has introduced the Ultimate Cuemath Olympiad 2020, which is going to be held in the month of November and December. So, all the new users who haven't yet subscribed, you can go ahead and register for it. The link is there in the description box, and the registration amount is just 200 rupees. With this, you would also get practice worksheet and curriculum from Cuemath, which is worth 5,000 rupees, and all of this just for 200. Also, along with it, you're going to get a real-time experience of the Olympiad exam. And also, this whole preparation is going to help you prepare for your IIT foundation also. Okay, thank you so much. I'll be seeing you in the next session.